Happy Monday, channel surfers. And yeah, this is the Mondayest of Mondays. We are on take 2 of this recording because I was more worried about my microphone than Dee's, and I should have been worried about hers because we had the one that was wrong set up. So here we are. We are back on the Mondayest of Mondays, 3 days before Christmas. Can you believe it?
No, I'm not
Are you
ready at
ready?
all. No. Are you?
Heck no. My husband and son left town today. I've got a little extra time to whip up some magic before they come back. So I'm sure everybody is feeling the pressure at this point. Happy Hanukkah, by the way, to the channel surfers who celebrate. Merry Christmas. We will be back tomorrow, of course, for 90 Day the Other Way. And happy holidays to everybody. You know what? We just need to take a little benevolence, a little bit, sprinkle it around like confetti, and boom. We got Sister Wives, season 20, episode 13. Benevolence, bitch. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Channel surfers, I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney host who loves to overanalyze everything. And I even tried to go on Spotify and find some music to like calm my brain, keep it from overanalyzing stuff. Yeah, that doesn't even work.
My doctor actually called it hyperfocus. That's what she says when I overthink, because I'll just hyperfocus on something and I won't let it go.
I do that too. But sometimes I also, with my ADHD, just focus on everything at once and I just can't quiet it down.
Yeah, I overthink so badly that I can overthink myself right out of making a decision on something. That's how
And
bad I do it.
this is Dee, everybody.
Oh, did I not say that? Sorry.
Who dat?
It's money. It's Monday.
It's
See, I can't talk right today. I can't remember anything. Yes, this is Dee, her paralegal and sidekick.
And reluctant co-host, especially on Mondays.
Especially on Mondays.
Especially on Mondays before Christmas. What the heck?
I think
we are super happy to be there. This is like our favorite part of our week, really, is talking to the channel surfers. We've been around since April. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss our recaps. We're doing Sister Wives, 90 Day the Other Way. Sometimes we do some true crime stuff because one of the areas of law I've done a little bit of practice in is criminal defense, and it's quite fun. It's more fun to analyze the stuff on TV than the stress of actually prepping a case.
Yes, for sure.
I'd rather just sit back and commentate. Thank you. Commentating Sister Wives. We'll start with Meri and Janelle. I love this, not bromance, sistermance, whatever it's called, that we're seeing forming here. The support, the leaning on each other. Janelle is reaching out to Meri because she wants that spiritual divorce. She ain't going to eternity with Kody, baby. No, we need to get over there and get a release just in case what they used to believe was right. We aren't taking any chances. We are taking every precaution to make sure she is not in hell with Kody for eternity. Kody and Robyn.
Yeah, one lifetime's enough.
One lifetime is a plenty.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that Meri said she didn't think she was going to get the spiritual divorce the day that she got it. They wanted to talk to Kody, but he wasn't being responsive. And she just started asking questions. Finally, they were like, okay, you're here. We're here. Here's your divorce.
Yeah. They didn't want to have to go through that again.
They didn't want to have to try to track down Kody. He didn't want to be tracked down. Janelle is worried. What will they think of her? Will they wonder why she wants this, even though they are no longer members of this church? Just explain it to them like you explained it to us. I don't want to be stuck with them.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to explain it. Look, I don't want to go through eternity with him.
I'm not saying you're right, but I'm also not saying you might not be right. So can we just...
So I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, not going to take no chances. Let's break all ties.
I think that is a wise risk management assessment for a lifetime with Kody.
Yes.
Meri is so supportive. She is like, I will drop what I'm doing. I will be there with you if you want me to go. She's like, I'll be a witness. Kody might not show up, but I'll come and tell it like it is. I'll let them know. Just tell me what you need. And Janelle needs a little push. Like, she's standing on the edge. She just needs Meri to hold her hand and help her jump.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to ask. What's the worst they could say? No. Okay, I get it. Actually, that would be a worst case scenario. You're stuck with Kody for eternity. I get the fear. Okay, yeah, I get the fear.
Yeah. This is important.
This is important. All right, yeah. On reflection, we understand, Janelle. We get ya. And Meri tells Janelle maybe it's best just to call him. Say, look, I want to talk about dissolving this union spiritually. Send him a text. Janelle is still super worried. She's used to doing it for business, but when it's personal, it's different. I agree. It's hard to ask things that are deeply meaningful to you when you don't know what the answer will be.
Right. I get it.
And she tees up that text and boom, hit send. So
Done.
we are waiting to find out an answer on that. Anything else for Meri and Janelle?
No, it was really short, but I agree with you. I love watching them become friends.
I don't know if it'd go that far. I mean, I just like them having a mutual shared enemy, Kody, and bonding over that. Just like we bond over that.
And I have to say, I like Meri too. What we're seeing of her since she left Kody is a completely different portrayal or different side of her personality. And she likes to smile a lot and laugh a lot. She's kind of fun.
It's been 2 years, and it's going to take time for her to establish a new normal away from what she was a part of for so long, and to find herself and to feel confident again. She was dissolving a 30-year marriage. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're seeing the growth.
Yeah. The last few years when they were still together, she really seemed more like a doormat. So it's nice to see her coming out and showing some strength and taking up for herself.
Kody is going to try to tear Janelle and Meri apart. In this episode, he's like, well, Meri doesn't need to know. Janelle said, let's sell the property from under Meri. And his friend Brian says, well, they're going to find out. Like, obviously, you're talking about it on camera. So you don't want to tell her directly. She's just going to find out through the show. Like, she found out you were leaving her through the show.
Look, I think that's like twice he's thrown Janelle under the bus with this anyway.
I'm so sorry. I want to heal things. This is not healing things, Kody. Janelle was not saying, let's sell the property and not give money to Meri. Meri didn't want to sign that NDA. I think she was saying, let's sell the property, give Meri her share of the money, and then she doesn't have to sign the NDA, and she can talk all the shiz about you that she wants.
Yep.
Do her a favor.
Evidently, he didn't want to give her the money for it unless she signed the NDA.
It's really hard to say what the heck Kody is talking about in a lot of this episode because we don't have Robyn, the interpreter, there to tell us what he means. And she's worried about this. She is worried that the ex-wives aren't going to understand Kody's intent with these apologies. It's more like she's worried that without her there to interpret Kody, he's not going to say the right things. And this fake apology won't come off as they intend it to. And production's going to take it and run.
Yeah, we're all seeing clearly who Kody is. It's nothing's getting taken the wrong way.
Robyn's like, remember your lines, Kody. Remember your lines. I'm not there to interpret for you this time. We're not taking it the wrong way. We've said for episodes now, these apologies are for him. When you're saying they're saying, I'm going to shove it down their throat, I don't care if they want it or not. Who is it for? Not them.
Honestly, I'm starting to think it's an ego tour instead of an apology tour.
Bravo. It is an ego tour. It's not an apology tour. So let's just hit on Robyn's scene. You made a good point about time on the show. Why Robyn's not on this ego tour with Kody.
Yeah, he's getting a lot more screen time doing this ego tour.
And then they get to split up their screen time. So Robyn has more screen time without him. He has his own separate screen time. They're just spreading themselves out so they're in more episode.
They're fucking boring together. Like, there's nothing to watch.
They're boring apart. Sacred Cow Robyn starts her scene with Aunt Sarah's pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Sounding like dang Cookie Monster. I'm sorry. First of all, that sounds gross.
I didn't think it sounded very good either. And I love pumpkin. Everything pumpkin.
Me too. Like, maybe if you said pumpkin, walnut, maple, pumpkin pecan, candied pecan pumpkin cookies. That sounds good. Pumpkin chocolate chip. No, like chocolate chip, that needs a brown butter, a little bit of sea salt.
It's a category by itself. No pumpkin belongs in chocolate chip cookies. I'm just saying.
And the way she says it, she sounds like a Muppet.
It sounded horrible. I was like, what did she just try to do? Like, was she trying to be funny?
I guess that's the voice of the Sacred Cow. I don't know. She is worried because Aurora, her 23, 24-year-old daughter, is in a serious relationship with Brody. Kody and Brody.
Oh, gosh.
And he's about to graduate from basic training. And I agree with her on this. She wants to make sure that Aurora has had time to see the world without being in a serious relationship, kind of like be out on her own. But she's 23. She's been dating him since she was 22. She wasn't out on her own before 22. And why? Because you've got her sheltered in this house, Robyn and Kody. If she and Brody don't get serious, like, I mean, they're serious enough to define their relationship, but are you saying you're like booting her out of the house now so she can figure things out? Or is she still sheltered within your house and not figuring out life?
It's a very good point. She's just going to go from one roof to another if she ends up getting married to this guy because she's never been out on her own. How can she really find herself if she's under their influence, under their roof? Probably has to still follow any kind of rules that they have if she's living under their roof, because that's the way most parents are. If you're going to live here, you're going to follow my rules. She's not really finding herself at all.
And I think that's a great point. But on the other hand, Robyn's not kicking her out.
No, nobody's going to kick her out.
She also, Robyn says that Aurora shouldn't depend on a man financially. 1000% agree with her. But I have to wonder, is Robyn reflecting on her own mistakes? Like,
good
she
point.
got married before Kody. That didn't work out. And then remember, when she came to Kody, she was in a lot of debt. Allegations of like $30,000 in Victoria's Secret debt. Her financial situation has drastically changed since joining this family and being on the show. Is this a regret of hers that now she's stuck with Kody for the finances?
It's a good possibility. I mean, I don't remember her really working much on the show, has she? Has she brought in much income other than that stupid closet thing that they had?
Did she bring in income for that?
I don't know.
Maybe she's feeling trapped with Kody because she relies on him financially and she relies on the show financially.
Yeah, but she's actually the one that's legally married to him. So if she left, she could probably get a lot more than the other three.
Just interesting to think about. Is she wanting more for her daughter than she had for herself? And what is it that she had for herself? Now, Aurora says that she has been praying constantly about where this should go with Brody. Maybe tell Aurora to cool it. Like, look, God's going to show you the way.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, God puts people in your path for a reason. There's signs all the time around you. You just have to listen and look.
This like reeks of desperation, which is also when Aurora asks, how did you know that Dad was right? Robyn described something that she calls a burning bosom, which to me sounds like a combination of desperation, lust, and heartburn.
I was going to say heartburn.
Somebody get that woman a Pepto-Bismol, a dildo, and some self-esteem. And I don't know that Kody would have been the one.
If she had all that taken care of when she was in that car with him.
I don't know that God would have been giving her a burning bosom. Did y'all eat pizza before this car trip? I got questions.
It sounds more like Mexican.
Yeah. That would have been a sign, though, to point to me that Kody is the one. Be like, oh, you like Mexican? Perfect. Me too. But hopefully she wasn't chowing down on nachos at the Mexican restaurant because we know he didn't like that with Christine. All right. Anything to add to Robyn and Aurora?
No.
And
It
the
was
pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. All right, so let's get into the fire of this episode. Kody, Christine, and David. We left off with Kody saying, I did love you. I want you to be able to heal, which is where we start off. And here, Kody, he was trying to be like William Wordsworth or William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, he was a playwright, not a poet. William Wordsworth, we'll go with that because he's referencing things in nature like storms and sunsets. It was a life experience and incredibly poetic. It was beautiful, like a storm and a sunset. All right, my English major mind turned on. We had to transition away from the lawyer and get into the English interpretation, which actually is a lot like being an attorney. You read the text, you find the evidence within the text, and you make your argument. So let's read the text. What is he saying here? Let's look at the imagery. Storm. What does a storm symbolize? Because he said it was beautiful, like a storm and a sunset. So storm, I'm thinking it's a symbol of chaos. It's isolation. If there's a storm, you're not out and about and socializing. You are inside your house, avoiding whatever's coming at you, wind, rain, snow. It shows isolation. It shows a need for safety. It shows a need to prepare for preparations. And there can be a lot of fear associated with storms. Like my dog gets scared during storms. My son can be scared during storms. Shoot, if it is hurricane season here on the coast of South Carolina, I get scared as heck during storms. So to me, it was beautiful, like this chaotic, fearful, isolating force of nature. And then he says like a storm and a sunset. So while some might find a sunset beautiful, like Christine, she's idealistic. Oh, a sunset, so beautiful. What is a sunset? The sunset is the end of the day. It is the end of sunlight. It's the beginning of darkness. So what does this imagery show us? That his life experience with Christine was beautiful, like a storm and a sunset. He's thriving on chaos.
He is chaos.
Exactly. Now, the way Kody describes it, he says this means that there were hard days and then there were good days, which I'm like, where's the good days in the symbolism, the storm and the sunset? But that's his analysis from a poet's perspective. This guy isn't deep. He just like probably got it off ChatGPT and didn't even think about it. He didn't overanalyze it like I do.
I was going to say, did he have it written on his palm so he could read it thinking that it'll be some kind of sentimental shit that they would all be like, oh, that's just so sweet.
If you ask Kody, I bet he'd be like, it was written on my heart.
What a dumb shit.
As he's saying all of this, Christine is rolling her eyes into the back of her head. David is looking at his head. He's like tilting his head and looking at Kody like he's thinking, is this man on drugs?
He's having those what the fuck moments like we are as we're watching it, because that's all I was like, what the fuck?
What is he saying? I came for dinner, not word salad. Thanks, Kody. Then Kody says that he apologizes for being the victim, which cue in the hypocritical stuff, because then he goes to play the victim in just a few minutes when they talk about his kids and how it's not just him. This was a team effort, that everybody was involved in me not getting along with my kids. Okay, victim. Now, David, 1000%, we know that Kody loved Christine. He wouldn't have kids with her if he didn't love her. Hypothetically, to be fair, David does know more about polygamy than we do. I guess in an arranged marriage, which this isn't like that, but it's a marriage almost out of duty to their religion. Maybe the idea of love is different. it's more like one of duty and they're supposed to have kids, so they do. I can't say I'm not a polygamist.
No, I mean, I think Christine loved him when they got married, and he probably loved her. He seemed to.
Well, he seems to say that he did at this point. Like, he's apologizing because he did. So, yeah, no shock from David or anybody else that he did. And then Kody, just rambling on, thanks her for, like, the most beautiful life and beautiful, precious experiences. Okay. And he says, we have all moved on. We'll come back to that part. We've all moved on. We're good. We're going to shake hands and be friends, I hope. All right. So here he's saying we've all moved on. But then later he's saying that the reason he's apologizing is so they can move on.
So that she's free of him and can heal. What a
Which
dick.
is it? Which is it? Have we moved on? And if so, then what's the reason for this apology? Or we haven't moved on, so why are you saying you have? It's a contradiction. And it's one of the many contradictions in this segment. It's because it's not genuine. He is there for PR. He is not there to apologize. He is not there to give healing because healing isn't needed. Christine, she's moved on. By the time she found David, she had been done with Kody. She found her own closure.
Yeah, she said that she didn't have this gaping hole in her heart because of Kody. She did her own closure and her own self-healing, and that she was completely over and closure done. Stick a fork in it by the time she committed herself to David.
It's all BS.
Yeah.
It is all BS, which is why it's so contradictory, why they can't keep the story straight.
Right. Well, it's also the reason why David said, why don't you start with your kids? Your ex-wives, they don't need apologies from you. They're over it. Your kids are the ones that need to heal.
Was after Kody said, I don't know what step to take. And then David said, start with your kids, which is another contradiction because then Kody's like, I'm not here to apologize for David. I'm not here to ask his advice. Yeah, he's got a healthy relationship with his kids. He's got a healthy relationship with my kids, but this is none of his business. Why not learn from somebody who knows what they're doing?
Well, that was the first time I saw Kody's face actually, like, he had to take a moment because it really pissed him off that David said that to him. But man, he should listen to him. David's spending more time with his kids than he is. He knows his kids better than him.
And he does say that it pissed him off. He said that once they got on that topic, he got angry. So yeah, Kody is angry. He's ready to set some boundaries because this probably doesn't play in to the storyline he's trying to create. It doesn't make him look good that he doesn't have a good relationship with his kids. No.
Well, and he's been he's been blaming the ex-wives for the relationship with the kids. He thinks they're the ones influencing the kids and why he's having so much trouble with them. And he knows that if he starts this conversation that he's going to get mad really quick and start pointing fingers, and that's not what he's wanting to do.
Well, and he throws that in there. He said, it's not just me. This was a team thing. Like, we failed together, basically blaming Christine for taking a part in it as well. He said it deteriorated as a party, not as an individual. And I can see David disagreeing with him. He starts to say, well, no, like, you're the reason your relationship with your kids is shitty. But then Kody just cuts him off. David's glad he said what he said because he is around the kids. He sees them suffering. He's glad he at least put that out there.
Exactly.
So I also found it was interesting because Kody said he's not interested in David's relationship with David's own kids. And he said that David is on the opposite side of this. So let's look at what David's side of this is. What is David's side of this? Heal your relationship with your kids. So that's the opposite side of where you're at, Kody. Tell us how you really feel. What side are you on if you're not on the side of heal this with your kids? If that's the opposite of the side you're on. This is why Robyn needs to be there. Because we're seeing the truth. If he wanted to heal it with his kids, he would be. He says right now he's having, trying to communicate with them.
He's leaving space open, he said, to hear what they have to say. But look, these kids have been trying to talk to him for years, and he's not listening.
And they're done. At some point, you just have to be done.
Mm-hmm. Well, Robyn is a huge part of the problem, and as soon as they even mention Robyn's name, he shuts them down. So
She absolutely is, because later on when he talks to his friend Brian in Vegas, Brian even says, well, what if they're all on team be nice to Robyn? And Kody goes, I don't even think Robyn is part of the equation for them. And she shouldn't be. Remember, you have individual relationships with these people, or at least that's what you've told us for 20 seasons.
Yep.
But just the hypocrisy. There's one sentence that Kody says, it is hypocritical all on top of itself. He goes, you can advise my kids to communicate with me, but you shouldn't be involved in my relationship with my kids. So you can get involved in my relationship with my kids by having them reach out to me, but don't get involved. What the heck are we talking about? Make it make sense.
I'm telling you, there were so many what the fuck moments during this. And I just didn't feel the sincerity that was there with Janelle either. It felt completely different. The vibe was completely different.
You hit the nail on the head, Dee. It's fake. It is not sincere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was sincere with Janelle either. I just think she is not going to be somebody to be confrontational. She'd rather just be like, okay, whatever, and just move on. She's not going to sit there and confront him.
Yeah,
I don't think it was sincere with her.
I felt a little more sincerity. He wasn't saying, I apologize with Janelle. He was saying, I'm sorry for this. There was not an I'm sorry with Christine at all. It was all, I apologize.
Well, that's the same
thing. I need to apologize. I don't think it's the same. There's a difference. It's more sincere that someone says, I'm sorry, than I apologize.
Well, let's take it back to Janelle.
Mm-hmm.
If Janelle had called him on any of this, if Janelle had said, well, Kody, I'm over you. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Why are we here? If she had been the least bit confrontational, do you think it would have felt as sincere at the end of the day? Or do you think we would have gotten the same Kody coming out?
He would have turned it.
Right?
He started out, you're right. But the thing is Christine's not being combative. She's not doing anything. If anything, she's just sitting there listening to him. She clearly doesn't.
But when they bring up the kids, it doesn't make him look good. And remember, the point of these apologies, Robyn's intent and his intent is for him to look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Janelle didn't match. She didn't care.
Yeah, there was just a different tone with it. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's kind of like he was trying to command the room with David and Christine and control the whole situation and what was being said. And I didn't feel like he was doing that with Janelle when he met with Janelle.
Because Janelle
didn't care.
Let him take the lead.
She actually
didn't care enough to do anything.
There was parts of it that Janelle actually enjoyed hearing, where Christine is just completely shut the door. Like, okay, I'll sit here for this. I'm getting a bonus. I'm getting
part of me
pay.
Thinks, though, that Janelle enjoyed hearing it in a way like, oh, this is so funny. This guy is entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was showing some humor about it.
She's like, this is complete BS, and it's hilarious to see him.
They're probably all just getting paid extra to sit through this massive amount of bullshit. You know, David and Christine got a trip to Vegas.
But Kody, he's got to get off this conversation about kids. So he refocuses this. Remember, Christine, this is all about you getting closure and healing. And Christine is in ITM's like, the heck? Like, by the time I married David, I was done over this man.
Yeah.
I don't need the closure. I don't need the healing. I don't need this conversation. This is weird.
He is so self-inflated. Like, to even think in his mind that was needed shows what level of narcissism he's on. Seriously.
He cannot imagine that these women have moved past them and that they want nothing to do with him. We even see this on the racetrack scene when David is going around the track in the red car and Kody and Christine are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Christine is like, I want nothing to do with Kody. I don't want to get close to him. I don't want to have a conversation with him like we had yesterday. That was
Last
so
night.
weird. But Kody, in his mind, can't imagine somebody not wanting to be around him. In his mind, she is fighting off being near him out of respect for David, and he is not going near her out of respect for Robyn. He does not see that she just wants nothing to do with him because he's a shit show.
Yeah, it was a complete. You had to kind of laugh because you see her saying why she doesn't want to stand next to him. And then when he's over there saying, we don't want anybody to think we're together out of respect for David and Robyn. And I'm just like, you're so full of shit, but it's funny. You look at it that way. And
because he can't
that's
see that.
not even,
he doesn't want anything to do with him.
And that's not what she's thinking at all. She's like, I don't want another awkward moment last night. I don't want to get close enough for him to start a conversation with me.
I don't want to smell him.
Mm-hmm. Well, the shit's wafting downwind to her anyway.
As far as the conversation, after the kids are mentioned, they just kind of try to dip out of there real fast. They're like, whatever, we'll see you tomorrow at the racetrack. I did notice that David tells Kody that if he eats some of his strawberries, because Cody's like, you want to share my sorbet with me? What the heck?
You want some strawberries?
You want to eat my strawberries? And David's like, no, that will spike my blood sugar, which I was like, ding, 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 he's diabetic. I had to look it up. Apparently, David was diagnosed with diabetes a week before his wedding with Christine. My guess is he's type 2, but you don't know. People can have late onset.
Right.
With type 1, like I have, and my 4-year-old son was just diagnosed 2 weeks ago. If you eat a strawberry, you can take insulin, take a shot, give a bolus through your pump to counteract that. Maybe you just don't want Kody strawberries. I wouldn't want to eat anything off Kody's plate. It's not worth the shot. But also, I read that he's lost like 20 pounds since being diagnosed, and type 2 diet plays more of a role in it, whereas type 1, we don't make any insulin. We can't just like eat low carb and not need insulin. We are insulin dependent. It's autoimmune. I just remember the doctors at the hospital a few weeks ago. They were like, okay, so they might put a limitation on the carbs, but whatever, we can override it. Just order whatever. It's fine. For my son. It's just, we just don't make the insulin. Like I told my son, the little fighters that get in there and eat the sugar and spit it back out to us to make us strong and big. So I'm not sure what kind he has, but I was like, yay, diabetic buddy, go David. And good for him for like getting his health. I've noticed that he's like lost weight and he looks like he's doing great. They go over to the racetrack and Kody and David and Christine. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. David and Christine. Damn it, Monday.
Bad faux pas.
I did not mean any of it.
We're sorry, Christine.
Sorry.
We're sorry, David.
We're not. No.
No, wait. Lauren's sorry,
Lauren's
David.
sorry.
Lauren's sorry, Christine.
I apologize. Okay, you're going to think that's not sincere.
Yes.
I'm sorry. David and Christine get there first, and they're picking out their cars, and then Kody gets there. He picks out his car, and first one around the track is Christine, which I don't blame her. I would be terrified. She's taking it slow. It looks like she's taking it slow. I thought it was interesting. Kody is sitting there. First thing he says, he's standing there with David. He's like, she's missing her marks. And David said, oh, she's just taking it easy. And then he's like, go, Christine. That says it all. Kody is so critical of her. And David is like her biggest fan.
Yeah, it's no wonder she loves him so much.
Well,
she's been starving for this kind of a partner all of her life.
This is what she's been dealing with. A dude that's super critical of her. And I love that David's standing there like, no, like he gets her. He's like, she's taking it easy. Okay, sorry. We talked about the second round, which was David in the car. Oh, yeah. I want to say with Christine, she said that the instructor was like pushing her foot down. I'd been like, what the heck? That would have scared everything out of me. That feels dangerous.
Not me. I would have been going as fast as I possibly could.
We talked about the David part where Kody and Christine were not even talking. And then the last racer is Kody. He's like, I want to cut the corners. Like, he's doing everything he can to try to make sure he does the best. Remember, David said he's not competitive. Kody says he competes against himself. So he's like, tight corners, tight breaks, like boom, boom, boom. And turns out Kody comes in fourth with a time of 1 minute, 20 seconds. I'm sorry, 1 minute and 2.56 seconds. 1 minute, 2 seconds, 0.56. Christine is 1 minute, 3 seconds, 0.83. They are less than 2 seconds apart. Now, Christine does come in ninth, but Christine is just having fun. She is taking her time. She is being cautious. Kody is just, going at it. Like, even with all that effort, Christine, I must beat you. I'm just saying. Had she put in a little bit of effort to try to beat you, which she just really doesn't care. She was there to have fun. She probably would have smoked him. Now, David.
Oh, yeah.
David's like 1 minute and 7 seconds. It's cool. I would have probably been like 5 minutes. I've been terrified.
He just wanted to drive that race car.
He did. Now, Christine, she says that racing is kind of like meeting Kody. Driving this race car is out of her control. When she meets with Kody, whatever happens is also out of her control. But when you're driving this car, you're going to do your best. It's out of your control, but you're going to do your best not to lose control, which is why she was taking it slow. But if you look at Kody, Kody isn't doing his best not to lose control. He's like, I want to do everything as tight and close as possible. I don't want to die, but I want to get right up to the point of death. He is going hard and fast and aggressive at it. He is not throwing caution to the wind. He is being reckless, in my opinion. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening here. Christine is going in guarded to this apology. We see Meri said she's going to go in guarded. Janelle went in guarded. And Kody's just like, I'm going to push it to the point of death. Awesome analogy. Way better analogy than Kody's. Who's the poet?
Yeah.
I think it's Christine.
Yeah. Hands down. His whole approach is, I don't care if they want to hear it or not. No boundaries. I'm doing this and I'm not going to be stopped. So, yeah.
Now, we see Kody meeting with his friend Brian in Vegas. This is the friend that he married during COVID when he couldn't see his family members, but he could go to Kody and Joanne's wedding and marry them. We've talked a little bit about some of those parts. Kody is telling Brian that he thinks Meri has more bitterness than the other wives. And he says that later, after the marriage, she started getting funky. Then we see Meri, she's like, I was drawing boundaries. Yeah, you know, you guys didn't even address me when I was at Coyote Pass. So I gotta draw some boundaries here. But Kody, he tells Brian, I'm apologizing, but I'm not trusting my ex-wives. Like, I'm never trusting them again. And I'm not interested in being their friends. Which is like exactly the opposite of what he says to Christine, which is, I want us to be friends for the kids' sake. He
should want to be
when he hung out with his friend.
Yeah, he should be for the kids. He needs to look, they don't have to be best friends, but he needs to at least be able to get along with these women and have conversations without it turning into arguments and stuff.
He knows that's what he should say, but when he's around his friend, he forgets his part.
Nope. Yep.
All right. So speaking of friends, Meri, Jen, and Amber, they have a little get together and Meri's like, I'm about to disappoint you. I'm meeting with Kody in person. And they say what we all say. Why?
Why the fuck?
We know the answer is because production is making me. But why would you do that? She says it's because she wants a smooth divorce. And her friends are like, you've done everything you can. You can't force him to make this easy. And it's Kody. You have known him 30 years. You think all of a sudden a magic unicorn's going to fly out of his ass and the divorce is going to be rainbows and butterflies? No. And Jen and Amber are like, what does he have to talk about? You've been divorced for 2 years. What on earth does this man have to talk about? And Meri says, I don't know, something about olive branch, benevolence. And this is where Jen says, look, he is sprinkling benevolence and bitch out of his mouth like it's confetti, which is where we get the title of this episode, Benevolence, bitch.
Benevolence.
But Mary's curious. She's asking why. I wonder if she thinks in some way she's still blaming herself because of Kody, which, I mean, there was the catfish thing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe Meri is actually going to have some things to say that she needs to get off of her chest. I mean, it's just thought.
Well, she says she's curious, and Jen said curiosity killed the cat.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jen. Touche, Jen. Obviously, she never saw it going this way. And it takes time to unwind out of it. So, yeah, it makes sense. And Meri, she's like, men are dumb, which Jen and Amber are like, yep, you nailed it. It's like, no, Kody is dumb. Cody's dumb.
Yeah, they should have clarified that. Not all men are dumb.
And not all are dumb in the same way Cody's dumb. That's like a special kind.
He's got his own special category for dumb.
The Kody dumb. Like, strangely, Robyn fits into that category. Maybe that's why they're soulmates. My notes. And that's all I've got for this episode of Sister Wives. Anything to add, Dee?
No, I think we've covered just about everything.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow with one of our very favorites, 90 Day the Other Way. We're going to be with you guys through the holidays because really, you're a gift to us, channel surfers. This is like the most fun part of our week. I'm so excited. Like, yeah, Monday is like the Mondayest of days, but the best part of Monday is you guys. So thanks for listening with us. We will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys are finishing up the holiday magic or enjoying the holiday magic if you're celebrating Hanukkah, to all those that celebrate. But we will see you tomorrow. Y'all have a great afternoon. Bye.
Let's ride.
Don't delay. Remote reality lights the way. See you next week, same time, same place. Channel surfers, let's ride.